Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Drake Maye, week 6, awesome performance, locked in, fired up. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of the channel. Not only is it a great, inexpensive way to support the channel, but you get even more Quarterback School content. So hop over there, join, become a member. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get into it. Drake Maye, the Patriots rolling right here, third down. A little empty, hit the shallow down here to the bottom. Helps when the DB falls. This is a nice job. I mean, Drake Maye, certainly impressive in this game. One of those games where you look at the stat sheet, it's impressive. You watch the film, it's probably more impressive. He does a really nice job here. Really the whole game. There are a few where it kind of backfires on him, but for the most part, his movement in the pocket, so his ability to just buy a little bit of time and just let this thing go. Now again, as we come across here, he gives him a little something here and comes across. Obviously, captain, okay, when he falls, it's going to be a nice big play. Turns into a little mini punt return left, and this is third and long, so as good as you can get, or hope, or easy as you can hope, to have the guy fall, throw it to you there. What I want you to pay attention to here is when he hits his back foot in his drop, he's not a statue back there. He's moving forward. He's got a lane to either run or throw it. He keeps his eyes downfield, but he makes a number, and he makes these look easy. Off-platform throws. Now again, does it have to be off-platform? You know, you be the judge. But I think the fact that he can do it is certainly pretty sweet. And again, I think he makes it look easy. Like there's a fluid, natural movement here as he keeps two hands on it. Nice ball, first down. Let's go. Next one here, big shot, touchdown throw down here to the bottom. I'm going to call it a nod post. Now, there's a lot to love here from a quarterback perspective. Big boy throw down the field, set your feet, stare down the barrel. Got a defender running unblocked right at your face. Rip this thing. Again, the arm talent, pretty outstanding here when he sets his feet, lets this thing go. I'll also say that Josh is in his bag here as far as being able to protect this thing and take a shot down the field. Now, the design here for me, this is really based off, you actually see this concept now a decent amount across the league, really across all levels of football. First, I'll pause it right at the snap. Talk about what this play is. What this play is down here to the bottom. We're going to sit here, and this is supposed to look like naked or keeper. Okay, this is that traditional from a condensed formation. You'll have something in the flat here. You're going to fake it as a quarterback, come out here, fake it, get out on the edge, and it's usually kind of 1, 2, and then you've got this kind of late or bang flat here in that kind of West Coast world. And really every system runs nakeds or keepers like this. This play is based on that. So it's the structure of it looks just like this, but this route, instead of running the corner, you run this nod post. And it's a big boy throw down the field. The backside is kind of the same, but instead of having someone in the flat, I like what Josh does here, and he really secures the edge with 2 blockers. So to the defense here, you know, up until this point and this point, this looks like naked. And so you get that middle field player to commit to help on the corner. Now, the other part about this play that makes it, I think, run at its best is when the backside corner is running with the over. What you don't want is you don't want this guy to fall off in a zone type situation and fall off into this big boy window. So I'll pause it at the top of this nod post, and you can see the space that we have to throw this thing. So again, just notice here right before, so to the defense, right here, this looks like naked. So again, you can see the middle field player. He's running with the corner down here to the bottom. Now, when we put our foot in the ground, it should time out with this nod post to come back out and look at all that space. So you've got the DB turned the wrong way, and you've got all that space. Now, the other part that I mentioned that I really like about this play is how they block the edge. We've got 2 what look like tight end types, and they don't even do a great job of blocking the edge. But we block it up, and then one of those guys has one. This linebacker type has the tight end, so he's going to green dog. He's just late to green dog, and we're able to rip that thing. Big boy throw all the way down the field. Excellent design, play call, execution, and then you just got to have the ability to rip this thing down the field. It's one of those things where not everybody probably has the ability to put their foot in the ground and rip a huge post all the way back across the field off boot action. Big boy throw, right on him, get in the end zone, nice move, hell yes. Next one here, third and medium. We're going to end up working to the backside, number 2 up top after a little bit of a internal scramble drill, find the mailbox, and this turns into a massive play. So a little bit of the creator, nice vision, keeping his eyes downfield, because it's always a fine line between like running it, taking off, getting your head down, and then creating a touchdown pass like this. Pretty damn special. So it's one of those things I think you just appreciate more than anything else, the ability to make this happen, because I think a lot of guys would just put their eyes down and go try to get a first or bail out of the pocket. You know, he's kind of fighting. Great job by the offensive line not holding as well. And then again, great job here finding the end zone, making multiple people miss, the acceleration, all those types of things. But this is third down. And the intent of this play is really what most people would call classically all stick down here to the bottom. That's just quick out and stick. Now, I'm sure they don't call it that for the New England, but they're trying to get the ball down here to the bottom. So quick out, stick. Okay. When that's not there, they've probably got some iteration of a crosser and either a post, in, curl, something on the backside here. Now, I think a fair thing to mention here is if this is 1, 2, and this is 3, you know, could we get to 3 here in phase? Meaning, instead of looking down here and then getting our eyes down, run around circus, we eventually certainly find it. But could we just go 1, 2, 3? Maybe. I mean, I think it's fair to wonder, certainly. So no, then over here. Now, the other thing I would say is that's only true in my opinion. So if this is the play, which I'm not sure it is, because it looks like this is the play that I would want configured. This looks more like what I think this is double slant. So if this is double slant with all stick down here to the bottom in the West Coast world, even though I know they don't run West Coast, then it's almost impossible to go quick game. You would never go 1, 2, 3, 4 like that in quick game. And so if that's the case, which it probably is now that I watch it a few more times, this is magical from Drake Maye to make this happen off double slant up top. So pretty damn sweet. So no, oh God, eyes downfield, mailbox. Thank you. I got to get a mailbox graphic or something for the channel. Spin move. Douglas doing a great job finding the end zone. Hell yes. Next one here. This is actually a play built on the kind of all stick we talked about earlier with the play before with the quick out and the stick. This is the double moves off of that. You know, the completion itself isn't a huge gain, but I love anytime I see a quarterback have the creative kind of release to be able to shovel, pitch, the awareness to know where your check down is, your outlet. I just think it's a high football IQ play. So no panic, not bailing. He knows exactly where it is, a little shovel check down, hell yes. And these are the types of plays that I very much appreciate for any quarterback at any level. So what's going on here? To me, this is supposed to look just like the play we just talked about. So that's the all stick or quick out stick. And then this is the double move off of it. It's got a wheel and it's got a stick nod. Now, you know, the wheel potentially has the chance to beat the corner. If you catch what I would consider here as a quarters or split field safety, this is a gnarly throw on the stick nod because you really have to trust this guy. It ends up being like a glorified seam. You come up, you give him a little nod, and then he has to cross the face of that open safety. So it's not a great play in my opinion. Stick nod is more of a closed play, closed zone play, if I'm being honest. So we fall, we got nothing up top. I don't like either of those. The pocket's closing in on us. He knows where the outlet is, and he's got the capacity to shovel that thing out there pretty damn sweet. I mean, we are locked in right now playing quarterback. So no up top. Again, you can see the stick nod where the tight end would have to win back in across the face here. There's a window there. It's just not an easy throw. No outlet. Someone draped all over our back, shovel that thing out there. Nice block on the perimeter. and we go from 1st and 10 to 2nd and short, all because our quarterback has got great awareness and got the creativity to flip that thing out. Again, it's one of those things where it's a combination of kind of on schedule, but our feet are moving. Okay, we're off platform with the throw. We're off platform with the flick. He's got a nice time clock when to get out of there. So no, not a statue. Create, extend, turns into a nice little mini chunk. Next one here, another touchdown pass. Now this is supposed to be a fake screen with a bluff wheel down here to the bottom, kind of a bluff seam. It's not there. Again, we're extending, we're off platform. I can't even tell you what this route is supposed to be on the backside. I think it's just a Drake Maye making a play, sees the defender with his back turn and gives his guy a shot. This is also a great block from the back. Henderson does a great job of seeing this thing the whole way, coming across, blocking the safety. But again, off platform, makes it look easy, beautiful pinpoint, accurate throw. Give his guy a chance, go make a play. So again, what's going on down here to the bottom? Notice the quick screen. So quick play action, flash fake. Fake the now or the quick screen. So here's that fake screen. This is where we're faking. And then we're coming out here what I'm used to calling bluff, wheel, bluff, seam. Now, a lot of teams will run the traditional post bluff wheel. It really doesn't matter. It's the same spacing. You know, you be the judge here, whatever the hell this is supposed to be back here. I can't imagine it's what he ends up running. I would imagine it's probably more of an in, a curl, something to give us a chance. But the fact that he says no to these, great. And then as he's moving off platform, he sees the defender with his back turned, facing the eligible, and he just gives his guy a chance. Y'all, and we are locked in. I mean, this is some throwing the ball. We are spinning that thing right now. That is beautiful. That's a handoff of a throw just outside the red zone, throwing that thing at the 28, 29. That's a dot. And again, it's off platform. That's the thing I think that's kind of interesting when you see a lot of these throws is he doesn't have his feet set. He's able to put it right where he wants. No. I mean, that is sweet. Next one here. This is 4th down. It's a turnover on downs. It's one of those things where anytime you see a 4th down, turnover on downs, I'm always semi-curious about what exactly happened. He got no chance here. You know, this is straight to the backstop. I don't think there's any chance you can catch this snap. You know, maybe put your paw on it, but there's no expectation here when the ball is essentially snapped to the, you know, ghost sidecar running back who's not there, that you can do anything here. So it's one of those things where it's just a good job getting on it, covering it up, because you don't want to make a bad play a disaster. A bad play a disaster here would be this ball snapped out of your reach, and then the defensive end picks it up and scores. Okay, this is a bad play right here. Don't make a bad play a disaster. Get on it, cover yourself up, protect yourself, and let your defense go to work. Next one here, we're going to end up hitting the number 1 right now. Pink Shoes at the bottom. He's going to end up being the number 2 on the corner. Now, we definitely have some, we'll call it questionable coverage from the Saints down the field here in this game. But I also love the fact that Drake Maye's got the ability to see this corner, drive it, protect his guy. And I also love what Josh is doing, having multiple guys open. So we've got a corner and what I'm going to call a wheel comeback from the motion. So if you watch the motion down here to the bottom, he's probably the primary. I mean, very rarely do you run a triple move and don't want to throw the ball to that guy. And what I mean by that is we're coming out here running this, make it look like quick out, make it look like wheel, and then come out. A lot of people call that squirrel in the league. You tether that with a corner. Okay, I think it'd be, you know, maybe they go high to low. In fact, they have to probably go high to low because it would be impossible to come from here 1 to this 2. You'd be late. So if this is 1, he does a great job seeing it and throwing it. You know, the thing that almost gets this covered is the guy who's covering the double move at the top of this thing. He gets beat so bad that he almost falls into the corner. And again, the guy who's covering the corner here, who knows what the hell he's doing. So we've got coverage concerns all over the place in New Orleans. But man, you got to love having multiple guys this open down the field, right? Like this is open, open. This is open. Pretty damn sweet. Now, I will say, if there are things that I've been critical of Drake Maye in the past, I think that there are some unnecessary footwork things. He's gotten away with it, or he's thrived in it in this game so far with a bunch of off-platform throws, and that's awesome that he's got that in his bag. This is one of those ones where, again, to me, you hope that he's moving to his left because he feels the pressure to his right. But it's a hard world to live in when you're moving away from your target like that, throwing the ball down the field. Now, again, that's a damn impressive throw. I'm not saying it never works. I'm just saying it's a hard world to live in, as opposed to tight hitch at your target, let it rip. Again, massive big play, hell yes. Next one here, another third down. Another example of Drake Maye using his legs. Okay, this time run it, extend yourself, get the first down, the awareness, get down, protect yourself. Maybe don't slide into the back of your own guy, baseball-wise. But this is a really nice job being able to, again, make good decisions, decisive. It's not there. Feel it. They don't do a good job containing you in the pocket. Go out, protect yourself, get down. Don't slide into the back of your own guy. Okay, now, there are a few things here I want to talk about that I think are unique to this game. Again, we're not game planning against the New Orleans Saints defense. But I will say you don't see this alignment from a tailback very often. And so when you see a back or anybody in the backfield lined up like this in the B gap, it's pretty rare. Oftentimes you'll see tight ends or running backs line up tight in the A gap on third down. And that's almost always because they have double mug linebacker types. Okay, so double mug linebacker types, sometimes you'll see that guy walk up here to have that collision happen at the line of scrimmage as opposed to in the quarterback's lap. What is interesting in this game is it looks like the Saints are walking those guys up into like the B and the C here. And so the adjustment, instead of walking the tailback into the A gap, they walk the tailback into the B gap, which is just a nice little thing that you simply do not see this often anywhere in any level of football. So it's nice to see the little cat and mouse of who's who in the zoo and what they're doing play action or pass pro wise to allow these types of days to happen. It's just a really nice little wrinkle from Josh and company to be able to have answers. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. I really do appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me, so thank you for taking the time and doing it. Again, the Quarterback School Patreon community, you know about it. Join, become a member, get even more Quarterback School content. We also have Quarterback School courses. You can check out all the courses over at theqbschool.com. Hop over there and enroll. Finally, please make sure to follow me across all the different social media platforms. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get back to it. As we work through get later in this game, there are a few throws where Drake Maye misses. It's not a perfect game by any means. It's a really impressive game. But this is probably one of those throws, third and medium. He probably wishes he either made a different decision or made a better throw. I don't think the decision is necessarily poor. I would say that the underneath throw is probably easier. And if we're going to make this quote unquote, like what I call a racer out or racer corner throw, I think a little bit more on time would make this thing a little bit easier. I also think just the ball location compared to many of the other throws we've seen is not quite as good. So what this play is most likely is we're coming out here and we're just running that short in. Now, again, when you motion out like this or do this bumper exit sharp motion, most times from a defensive adjustment, when a guy motions out like this, you're not going to get him to running up closer. It's almost always going to be getting off and creating more of a free access. So as he gets off here, this probably in a short and medium situation is probably where you'd want the ball to go, especially if that's one. Now, again, as we work to the number 2 on this little like racer outer corner, we get the leverage we want, inside leverage here. This isn't bad either. Like this is fine. So I think you could go here for an easier throw, and you could just make a better throw. Now, again, I'm probably going to be more of a stickler on the footwork than you are, but you be the decision maker down here to the bottom. Is that there? It's certainly not wide open, but we have the leverage we want for our first down. I wouldn't be mad at that throw. And then I wouldn't be mad at 3 and a hitch throw. This little extra, he gives them a little some extra. And when you give that little extra hitch or reset, now the ball's just going to be closer to the sideline as opposed to on time in rhythm. So watch the drop. 1, 2, 3, hitch it. He's just got that little bit of whatever at the top here. 1 to the short end, 2 to the out. He takes that extra hitch, extra. We're a little wide, we're a little off, and we're a little high. Next one here, I think this is another third down. We bring 8 across. He's going to run what I'm used to calling a post, short post, really. Again, I have no idea what the New Orleans defense is doing leverage-wise. This looks like 2-man to me. Again, it might be combo coverage, different coverages on different sides of the field. But as 8 comes across here, you would think that the leverage on these guys on the right would be inside. When it's not inside, this is just too easy. Again, this is a classic NFL play where I'm used to calling it a gather or 2 gather or shallow gather up top. So the design of the play here, this is really like a glorified clear, comes across, and then you're going to run this short post in like that. And it really operates as like a deep slant more than a short post, but people call it F post. Oftentimes it's run with a post where they do like a switch release here, which I think is a little better. But right here, if this guy is outside leverage here, this is stealing in 2-man because this guy's going to run with the shallow, and it's just going to create a big hole down here. And again, I like the use of the motion to bring him across so you don't allow this guy to get bumped. Again, just imagine if the leverage down here to the bottom, so this is inside leverage, imagine if that was the same up top. Well, now this play kind of sucks. But because the leverage is different up top than it is at the bottom, watch the leverage at the bottom, inside. See how they're catching that on the inside? Now look up top. He's trying to be inside. He just gets beat. And Ford just gets beat like a drum because he's late with his feet, the motion, got him. So just a really nice job from Josh and company being able to create the leverage to allow your guys to win. Simple, easy, first read there. Again, I love the communication here from Drake Maye and the pass protection unit. Make sure you're locked in on who's who in the zoo. Bring the motion across. Get the leverage you want. Pitch and catch. First down. Boop. Again. You can see here, he looks like he's trying to keep inside leverage. He's outside leverage. We got him. He's not aligned correctly. Boop. That's a wrap. First down. Another example here of Drake Maye using his legs. Again, this is a big time run here. We're going to fake the bubble, fake the play action. I'm not, if you're a fan of the channel, you've heard me say this for years. I dislike running backs cutting from the backfield. This is one of the many reasons why I'm always just, one knee away from a disaster of a season. But Drake Maye right here showing the athleticism, the ability to get vertical, run it, take off. Now what this play is, it looks like they're coming out here running just fake bubble. So he comes out, he pumps it, spins play action, and then we're going to take a chance down the field. It's paired with a post, this like bubble wheel. We've then got the crosser coming to us, probably where the ball's designed to go. And then we've probably got some sort of hook or curl on the backside. So again, love the design, a lot of moving parts, multiple fakes on the play action. Bam, whoop. Whoop, bam, there, right? You got the sound effects, whoop, And again, I really, really dislike running backs cutting in the backfield. I know, you probably know your JV old running back who didn't match up versus linebackers and had to cut. That just has knee written all over it to me. It really does. I'm glad he's able to make it happen. Get vertical, protect yourself on the boundary. First and goal inside the 5. Next one here, 3rd and long. This is probably my favorite throw of the game. I'm not going to lie. There were many impressive throws in this game, but this is 3rd and long. Little switch release in up top, off platform, going to our right, throwing back to our left. This is a beautiful route as well. He's able to carve this thing down for us. Love the top of the route. You can notice the back, step up into the B gap, pseudo B gap, maybe A- gap. Watch the pocket movement. Dip and rip, almost trips, back across his body. It's beautiful. Now, this is beautiful football, man. 3rd and long to be able to do this. So again, what this play probably is here, like Josh designed here with the short motion and what I'm going to call a switch release. We'll come up down here to the bottom. We've got the post, we've got the traditional cross, and then we've got this backside in. And what I want you to pay attention to with this in is how friendly this angle is. He comes back and carves that thing off, anti-interception angle. And then again, the throw is simply outstanding, right? We've already seen it now a number of times. Off platform, but in structure. He's able to move, buy enough time. I love the dip and rip here. So switch release up top. Watch the top of that route. Look at how he touches the 40, damn near touches the 40, comes back and catches that ball on the 37. That's carving a route at the top. Now let's watch that dip and rip from Maye. Whoop! Oh my, almost trips. That's so good. Golly. That is so good. My guy can throw off platform. And I say my guy with big fake quotation marks. But you can't argue the fact that this is impressive quarterbacking. This is beautiful. That's damn awesome. Next one, another crazy impressive throw. Another 3rd and forever. This time we're going to get 2 double moves on the outside, a little out and up, 7-ups, whatever. And he's basically going to outthrow the coverage. Now I know there's a penalty, and yes, he kind of pushes him. Not kind of, he pushes him. But it doesn't take away from the fact that this is a ridiculous throw, y'all. He is simply outthrowing the coverage. You just don't see many guys in the league. There aren't many people on the planet that can outthrow NFL coverage. You know, I think of Justin Herbert. I think of Josh Allen. I think of Patrick Mahomes. I'm sure that there are others that I'm not naming, but this is really 3rd and forever. We're going to mirror the double moves on both sides. Okay, double move's not going to really work because the route is, the first down marker is so deep, it would be almost impossible to run this double move like this. It would take forever. So you get into the double move too early. If that's not there, you know, the deep over the ball hook is probably too shallow for a first down. And so he just lets this thing develop. He does a nice job. It looks like he's holding his eyes over here. Hitch, awkward shirt grab. Okay, it looks like he's pulling a flag, and then he just chucks that thing. And that he chucks that thing right in stride. So watch the double moves on both sides. Nod, go. You can see the over the ball hook. Not going to get a first down. Sure, could you throw a check down and get a completion? Yeah. Or you could take Mahomes-ish gun drop, get your shirt pulled, undershirt pulled right there, and just out-throw the coverage. I mean, look at this thing when he lets this thing go. The corner's not really paying attention because of where his eyes are. And then he just out-throws the coverage. And it's not bad coverage by any means. The guy's right there. He definitely gets pushed off. I get it. But I still love the throw. I really do love the throw. I mean, these are those kind of like special throws. You see him looking to our right, pump, comes back, boom. Again, that kind of like, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say it's off platform here, but we're heel clicking. This is like throwing from the warning track. This is when footwork kind of goes out the window to me and you just start throwing it damn near as far as you can, like the old quarterback challenges back in the day. Next one here, another one of those kind of few misses in this game. Again, to me, it's an example of kind of the one element of his game here that looks like it's still kind of tethered to what I'll call old Drake Maye or college Drake Maye, as far as some of the wasted movement with his feet. You know, unnecessarily difficult wasted movement throws. Now, we've seen him make a bunch of off-platform perfect throws, but this is where I say that consistency is an issue to be able to make throws like this. So to me, you know, first off, not a great concept in general, right? We got the tight end staying in here. We've got a crosser, an in, and we'll call it a wheel here. So the first part here is because you get no eligible out down here to the bottom, you've got to be real weary about what's going on in the backside here. So this crosser is essentially dead. It makes everything else kind of blurry because you're really only playing half field, right? There's no eligibles over here running routes. That doesn't mean that this isn't there though. And when I'm saying footwork and wasted movement, I'm saying instead of kind of turning and moving laterally, let's keep our base as we kind of have to move away from pressure, keep our base and lined up to the target to make this easier. Again, he can make the off-platform throw for sure, but do you have to? Is that the best way to do it? Again, see him turn his feet like this. So as that's your base right there. Keep that base as you move. Don't turn like that. Now it's a much harder throw. You know, you very rarely see the sideways heel click, okay, but he's doing it. So we lose our base. The throw's behind us. We're not on schedule. Now, again, the other part here is, could this be a curl and this guy runs the wrong route? Yeah. You know, is he throwing it away from the quote-unquote curl defender? Maybe. Maybe there's just a miscommunication. But again, when you look at the footwork done across the league, you don't see guys very often have this kind of lateral movement like that, as opposed to just keep your base like that. You're lined up perfectly. Move over, shuffle over, hard reset, keep your base, and give a better throw. One more time here from the end zone, just for all you pass-prone nerds. I'm sure you notice where the back is, right? He's up in that B gap. Again, that double mug is now the A and the B, as opposed to the double A. So just a nice little wrinkle, a game within a game. One of those subtle things that I love about Pass Pro, and I love the fact when you see a plan come together to give you a chance to rip balls down the field. Nice job. Last one here. This is really to ice the game. We're going to end up throwing a back shoulder up top, 4-minute offense. Beautiful job. I mean, this is a hell of a throw. Hell of a hookup. Beautiful throw. Again, I love the base. He's lined up to his target. Gives his guy a chance. Thing of beauty. Again, watch the back here. Move across. This time he's in the A gap. The communication. The double mug. It's a big boy block. That's a hell of a throw. That's essentially an unstoppable play when it's one-on-one. You can get away from throwing back shoulders by, you know, different ways to bracket and get leverage advantages defensively. But if they're going to leave that one-on-one with an outside release like that, that's real tough to stop. And again, watch the base this time from Drake Maye. So he hits his back foot. Now he's maybe not lined up yet right there, but he keeps that base. And then the throw is perfect. It's a handoff of a throw. 3rd and long, back shoulder, one-on-one to essentially ice this thing. It's beautiful football. He made a number of beautiful, high talent throws in this game. Both in structure and out of structure. This one, outstanding, hell of a win. So that is a wrap. Drake Maye, big win, super impressive win, really. There were a number of great throws. It was a really nice box score, but it was an even better film because there were throws that probably should have counted or could have counted that would have made it even a more spectacular performance. I think you can't deny the fact that he's got unbelievable arm talent. I thought he showed off really nice vision, some off-platform throws that were just very, very impressive. You overlay that with Josh doing a nice job of giving him opportunities to lean into his strengths as far as the arm talent, the ability to run it a little bit, scramble it a little bit, use his legs, extend. Really impressive. I mean, there's no doubt about it, really impressive. I think you still kind of see some of the continued concerns, I would say, about just the footwork tethered to the timing, whether it's that kind of racer out, whether it's one of those things where he unnecessarily loses his base as he moves. So it's a fine line between he really can make a number of impressive off-platform throws. But when and how we get to those throws is one of those things I think he's going to have to continue to develop and improve upon if he wants to keep the trajectory of his improvement kind of consistent, because he is spinning it. There's no way around it. Those throws down the field are crazy, crazy, crazy impressive. And then there are some other ones where you're like, that's such a missed opportunity. Not a huge missed opportunity. It didn't cost them the game, but it is there on film where you're like, man, it's pretty damn wild that you can play that well and turn on the film and be like, well, there were a few other opportunities where this could have been even, you could have made it easier for yourself if you were more on time, more on rhythm. Things that you would think will continue to potentially get better are still there and available for you to continue to get better with. And you match that with the crazy arm talent, the off-platform stuff, the vision stuff. Pretty damn exciting if you're a Patriots fan. Thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one.